wonderful things that we have worked on in glass technology. One of the current ones, we're working with some of the big oil giants at creating materials that will help both form an ability for carbon capture and storage, so we can put CO2 from industrial process down old oil and gas mines and seal them in a way that we can perfect chemistry using the generation of methanoic acid to recreate a fuel from the CO2 by fermenting it underground over a period of time. Very much like the oil and gas were formed in the first place, but catalysed to do much more quickly. And glass is playing a role in both that and also showing up the fields in which the gas and oil has been extracted from to help us take more gas and oil out of those original fields. So not drilling for more, but showing up the existing sites. Typical oil well will give up its first third very freely. Its next third is more difficult. Its final third is written off. We have developed methodologies using glass science to help take that last third out, which taps into an awful lot of oil and gas reserves that have been unable to be exploited for generations. We've created silver-bearing glasses that are used by the American military on the battlefield that save limbs. Glass embedded in a way that it can migrate slowly out of the surface of the glass is a natural antiseptic. If we can put that silver into a wound on a battlefield, we can possibly save a limb while that person is being transported from the point of injury to a hospital. We've made materials, glass-containing materials that are actually active in pastes and soaps that can be added to that sphere, and we have been selling those materials into the American market. In beauty and makeup and things, there's an awful lot of concern at the moment about microspheres, plastic microspheres that are used as fillers. These are tiny elements of plastic that are used in makeup that go into foundations and things. But they have issues in terms of the way that the human metabolism perceives these alien spheres. We can produce glass spheres in a similar vein, very, very tiny glass spheres, almost unrecognisable. It looks like a powder that will replace these, and they're inert, so they don't cause any problems. So in areas where we're already getting these materials, the plastic materials, banned, there are areas of the world where they're no longer allowed. We have substitutes in glass. In a similar vein, what a lot of people won't recognise, a word ballottini, small balls in Italian. It's something we put in road marking paints. So you're driving along on the motorway and your lights catch a road sign and it seems to immediately illuminate. And that's because these are tiny spheres of glass that catch the light and focus it. The sphere acts as a lens, focus it onto the paint behind, and you see instantly that magnified the colour and everything is there. These things are used in road marking paints, have been for many, many years. But they're things that nobody sees through. I think there's an old adage, people look through, not at glass. I think part of the idea of tonight is to help people look at glass in a different way. It's not looking through it, but look at it and what it might bring. Of course, it's in things like flame retardant materials, fire blankets, it's in cavity wall insulation, loft insulation. We use it in the nuclear industry to encapsulate waste. If we, again, use that massive palette, we know that things like boron have a massive capture cross-section for neutrons. So if we include boron in a glass, we've done this for a lot of the waste processes of nuclear materials, we can stop that radiation getting out just by doctoring the glass that we embed it in. So the range of things that glass brings to society is almost endless. It excited me back in 1980 when I joined this industry. It excites me today. I don't get the opportunity to work with it as often as I might. As you might have gathered from my cryptic remarks in them, my daily task these days is to try and fight a war, wage a war with governments to promote and support industry in the UK, and particularly the glass industry. But moreover, it needs that investment in R&D. That's where my heart is. That's where the future is. We need to make those investments. We need to educate a government and a future society to embrace that and make those investments. And I see an exceedingly bright future involving that investment in glass technology.